Hello everyone. I am Professor Vaishali Chevale from Department of Computer Science. I am over here to teach you the subject that you have, cybersecurity. We are at the module 3, that is information and network security. I hope that first two chapters are clear to you. Now we are at the third chapter. The name of the third chapter is Security for VPN and Next Generation Technologies. In this chapter, we are going to cover the topics like VPN security and security in multimedia networks. The basic objective of today's lecture is to understand what is VPN security. We are going to consider each and every term in details. First, we will see what is a VPN, and then we will see what is how to conduct security under VPN. Then dealing with security in multimedia networks. So first of all, try to understand what do you mean by VPN. So VPN is nothing but virtual private network. It is a type of private network. Now why it is called as a private network, that we will see. First of all, try to understand the difference between internet, which is a public network, and private network. Now, understanding the concept of VPN is not that difficult. Consider, for example, you have three computers at your home and they are connected to some switch, not to the internet. Try to understand. It is connected through some switch. So, this will form one private network at your home. And internet is a public network. So, it is used for, as you know, internet is a network of network. So, it is used for transferring the files between various private machines from one machine to another, right? Now, why we are saying this as a private network? Because we are creating a network within the private network and it is created virtually. Now, what do you mean by virtual creation? So, it is not created physically, means there is no direct connection between your computer and remote network. Okay, so it is virtually created. Over here, we are using the virtual private network uses the concept of encryption so that your network will be very secure and you can access any sites, or I can say that you can work on the internet privately. There will be more security provided to you and you will be very secure. There will be no unauthorized access or no malicious attacks like hackers or crackers will crack your code. So that's why VPN is very important. It uses internet. So as I told you, internet is nothing but public network. So it uses internet instead of using a leased lines. I have shown over here in the diagram that the person is accessing the internet through the virtual private network. Okay. So finally, I will say for this slide that VPN is providing you more security with encryption, right? Your data will be encrypted. So you can safely browse through any network, okay, or any sites, and that will your IP address also will be hidden. Your location also will be hidden. This is most important to remember. So here we can say that VPN will allow you to create a more secure connection to another network over the internet. We can define VPN as it is a technology that can encapsulate and transmit network data over another network. So as I have told you that VPN is nothing but encrypted connection over the internet from one device to the network. Now this encrypted connection will help you to ensure that whenever you are sending some secure data or sensitive data, so it is safely transmitted from one machine to another machine. Okay, it will so if there is unauthorized access, so that will be prevented or it will not be entertained at all, because it is providing you with the security or encryption, I can say, security through the encryption technique, right? So you can privately or very securely access any website and your IP address will be hidden. This is the most important thing that you should remember. So I can say that using VPN, it gives you online privacy in simple language, right? There are various types of implementations that you can use by using VPN. So there are three types. First one is intranet, extranet, and remote access. Or I can say that we can divide VPN into remote access. Then extranet is a site to site. So first two, intranet and extranet, they are site to site connections, right? Now try to understand what do you mean by remote access. So I can say that individual users will use the remote access, and big businesses will use intranet and extranet based services, which comes under site to site type. Okay. Now try to understand individual users. See, individual users will use remote access as I told you. So remote access will connect user to the secure remote server for accessing the private network. Now, as we have seen that it uses the concept of encryption. So encryption will ensure that security is not compromised at all. So this is the foundation upon which so-called commercial VPN services are built. These providers will allow you to use their own network when you are surfing on the internet. It will hide your sent and received data. Whatever you do on the internet, it will be hidden. As I have told you that your IP address itself is hidden, your location is hidden, so you are very safe, right? Next, intranet. As the name suggests, intra means within the organization and extra means outside the organization. Now, if a company, for example, if it has one or more remote locations that they wish to join in a single private network, so they can create intranet connection. So this is same as LAN to LAN, I can say. Now, in extranet, which is outside the organization. For example, when the company has close relationship with another company, for example, some partners are there, or suppliers are there, or various customers are there, they can build extranet VPN that will connect and that will allow all of the various companies to work in a shared environment. So this is about the various implementations that you can implement by using VPN, right? Remote access and site to site. Again, consider in more detail about the remote access and site to site. As we have discussed, remote access it will be used by individual users for connecting to the private network. Okay, each remote access user, over here you have to remember one point, that each remote access user needs to initiate to form a VPS tunnel. It will use security methods. There are n number of security methods, but remote access VPN uses SSL and IPsec as a security method for encryption purpose. It is used for roaming the users who want to access the resources or servers securely. So again, remember one more important point, that it uses the concept of tunneling and encryption for your data to be very secure. Now, what do you mean by the tunneling that we are going to see? So tunneling is basically used for secure connection. It will create a point-to-point connection between two points, right? So this ensures that it cannot be accessed by unauthorized person. Now consider the diagram over here. I have shown how this remote access VPN can be used. So here you can see client software is there. Consider these basic terms over here. Now I can see that client software is nothing but the software which is residing in the client's computer or laptop, whatever machine he has. Then he is accessing a secure VPN connection. Now, what do you mean by network access server, or NAS? I can say. So network access servers, they are used by the internet service providers, ISPs. We say that ISPs will use network access servers for providing the remote access to the users. whatever users are there. Now this NAS is connected to the main office, right? So you are very safely browsing through the VPN connection, and the main office NAS, that is network access server, is attached. And as you know that your IP address and your location is hidden, so you are safe and you can privately online serve. Consider the second type, that is a site-to-site VPN. Now, site-to-site, as the name suggests, it is a connection between two or more networks. For example, if you have a corporate network and branch office network, so you can use site-to-site VPN. As I told you that this site-to-site VPN can be used by the businesses, right? Over here, it uses the security method as IPsec. In remote access VPN, we have seen that every user is required to initiate to set up for the VPS tunnel. But in case of site to site, it is not at all required for every user to initiate the VPN tunnel. So basically, site to site VPNs are used by the companies where different branches are located at various geographical locations, and they are very far, and practically it is really not possible to have the connection between them. So this network will be used where main branch office will be there, and various corporate networks are there, right? So we will see that in the diagram, that will be more clear to you. So this is used in office LAN users for branch offices that need to connect to the servers in the headquarter. See, for example, one corporate, you can see over here, one corporate headquarter is there. For example, some bank is there and its main headquarter is located at some location, and there are various branch offices, right? So these branch offices are located at very far geographical locations, and it is physically not possible to allocate them with the physical connections and all. At that time, we can use this site to site VPN. And as you can see from the diagram, that from branch offices to the corporate headquarters, VPS backbone is formed and various tunnels are there. So through this VPN tunnel, secure data will be passed. So it means that only authorized persons can see the data, and you can browse safely and privately through the network. Now, with the introduction with what is VPN, what are the various types of VPN, consider what is the VPN security. As you know, security is a very major issue. So we can say that VPN security is nothing but these are the various collective measures that will ensure that data and transmission security within the VPN connection. We are using various methodologies and tools that will make sure that communication is confidential, user authentication, and message integrity. All these points will be covered properly, and they will be ensured 100% by the VPN. You have to install proper VPN software. Now that depends upon your requirements, what type of VPN software that you are going to install in your machine. Now consider exactly how VPN works. So there are various steps I have mentioned over here. So first of all, as we have discussed 2-3 times, that VPN will disguise your actual IP address and your location. Means in simple language, I can say that VPN will hide your actual IP address. So even ISPs or any third party softwares or any other networks, they will not be able to track you or your track you, or I can say that your actual IP address, right? Because it is being hidden by VPN. Even your location is hidden. So you are very safe. And as we have discussed that, it uses the concept of tunneling and encryption. So the network service will scramble your data in a process, and that we see as a encryption. VPN service will put your internet data into the capsule, and it will be sent through a private tunnel to the website that you are requesting. So you are very safe. Over here in the diagram, I have shown that one user is sitting over here and he is surfing through the internet, but he is not directly connected to the internet, or he is not directly accessing the internet, but the user is connected through the VPN. So what VPN will do? VPN will mask the user's IP address, so user's identity is hidden over here. So there is a secure connection between user and the VPN. So though hackers will try to access, or another malicious attacks will be there, you will be safe. Again, in this diagram, I have shown in more elaborated way the difference between VPN and no VPN. If there is no VPN, what will happen? And if there is a VPN. So I think you can guess now, if there is no VPN, you are not secured at all, and attackers can attack you and your data will be lost, right? See, in no VPN, user device is directly connected to the internet, and they are using ISPs, that is internet service providers. And if you are using VPN, so what it will do? It will encrypt your data. See, user's device is connected over here. VPN client is there. So between VPN client and server, encryption will take place, and you are safe, right? You are directly not connected to the internet, but that is done through the VPN client and server. So your data confidentiality will also be maintained as encryption is being done. It will provide you data integrity check also. There are a number of various protocols which provides you with the security with VPN. So I have mentioned over here various protocols. So IPsec, that is nothing but Internet Protocol Security. Then you have SSL or TLS, that is called as a Secure Socket Layer or Transport Layer Security. Then you have DTLS, that is Datagram Transport Layer Security. Then you have SSH, that is Secure Shell, and SSTP, that is Secure Socket Tunneling Protocol. Now consider next topic, that is security in multimedia networks. First of all, try to understand what do you mean by multimedia. So multi means many. So many medias. For example, multimedia is a combination of various medias, like you have text, you have images, you have pictures, graphical arts, audio, video, like that. Now, what separates multimedia data from the traditional alphanumeric data? So, as you know, multimedia data are obviously large in size. They may require some real-time processing whenever some continuous media is there. For example, you are listening to some music or you are watching the movie. At that time, continuous media will be there, audio or video, I mean to say. And this multimedia data is portable, and they are used in various mobile applications. Nowadays, people don't use multimedia or internet only for listening to music and all, or watching the movie, but they can upload their own contents also. Like they can create their own videos, they can create their videos or audio, and they can upload that through YouTube or various applications which are available. Consider another topic, that is network multimedia applications. Now, what do you mean by this? So, any multimedia application which is occurring through the network is a network multimedia applications. So, there are various types over here, that is streaming stored audio and video, then one-to-many streaming of real-time audio and video, and real-time interactive audio and video. So consider the various examples of all these three types. First one is streaming stored audio and video. So as the name suggests, the underlying medium over here will be some pre-recorded stored audio or video. So for example, if you have some pre-recorded videos or audios, so they can be taken as the input over here, and streaming of those audio and video can be done. Second one is one-to-many streaming of real-time audio and video. So here I can give the example of over here. You must be knowing the term broadcast. So broadcasting of TV television or any other media that can come under that. Then in case of real-time interactive audio and video, as the name suggests, people can communicate with each other through real-time audio and video. For example, I can give one example of video conferencing where people can interact with each other. Another example is Microsoft's net meeting, right? So in real time, they can communicate with each other. Now, again, multimedia network is also not safe. There are various threats that can target the multimedia network. So, for example, what are the various threats that can target multimedia network? uh, Confidentiality, integrity, availability, and authenticity. Now, what do you mean by these simple terms? Now, confidentiality. It means your data should be confidential. It should not be accessed by any unauthorized user. It should be kept safe and confidential, right? Only intended users should be able to access them. Now, what do you mean by integrity? Now, integrity means what? It is maintaining all the data in its original form and it should not be modified. It should be kept in original form only. So, in simple language, I can say that if the data is being modified, so it simply means that attackers have attacked your data, right? Next is availability. As the name suggests, availability means what? Multimedia users will always want the data to be available at all the times. So, it is the responsibility that data should be available at all the times and in a proper format. Authenticity. Again, over here, it is the assurance that the message or any digital data or transaction that is occurring, it is from the source that it claims to be from. So, in authenticity, identity of the user will be checked that this is the authenticated person and he only is the source that he is claiming to be. There are various security mechanisms that we can use in multimedia. So these are cryptography and digital watermarking. What do you mean by this? That we will see in next slides. Over here, I have shown you a very simple diagram of cryptography. I can say that cryptography is nothing but it is a secure mechanism which is used for transmitting the data from one person to another person and only the from source one person to another means source to destination. And the important thing over here is that only the destined person or destined receiver should be able to receive the data, right? So, this is the most important thing. I'll repeat cryptography will ensure that whatever data is being transmitted from sender to receiver, so the receiver should be a intended receiver only. So, data should be received to the intended receiver only. Consider the basic terms which are used in cryptography: plain text, encryption, ciphertext, and decryptions. So I can say that plain text is nothing but any readable text which is in English language and you can read it very easily. So this plain text can be encrypted and some secret keys are used. Now this secret key along with the encoded message will be given to the receiver, right? Now, ciphertext is nothing but after encryption, you will get the ciphertext, right? At the receiver side, receiver will decrypt the text and he will get the plain text, right? You can see that from the diagram. Plain text is being encrypted, you will get the ciphertext. Obviously, ciphertext will be in the non-readable format because there are some encryptions being used, secret keys being used, some transformations are being done onto that, and you will get the ciphertext. So normal user will not be able to read that. So I can say that ciphertext is in a non-readable format. Now this ciphertext will be decrypted by the receiver and he will get the plain text. Obviously over here, as the receiver knows the key, he only will be able to decrypt the data or message, whatever it is. Again, cryptography will provide with the following security services: confidentiality, integrity, authentication, and non-repudiation. We have already seen various terms like confidentiality means your data will be kept confidential. It will not be accessed by any other persons, and it will make sure. Integrity, as we have seen, that is nothing but data should not be modified. It should be kept in its original format, and obviously by the authenticated person. Authentication means only authenticated people will be means it will ensure that only authenticated people are there, and they will they will ensure the sender's identity, I can say. Now another term over here is non-repudiation. Now non-repudiation will again make sure that no party can deny that it sent or received a message through the encryption, or here we can use another technique, that is a digital signature. That means authenticity of the signature will be provided. So it is given by the digital signature. Consider the second technique that multimedia uses for security purpose is digital watermarking. You must have heard about this watermarking techniques. So this is nothing but the process of hiding digital information in a carrier signal. So it is the method. In simple language, I can say that digital watermarking is a method of embedding digital code into digital multimedia contents. So basically, this is used for recognizing the identity of digital contents owner. It will allow the user to embed some data into digital contents. Now your digital contents can be anything, like it can be pictures, or it can be audio or video, where you can embed the data, right? So it will be it is as good as it is your data is hidden. This is for security purpose. Now this digital watermarking can be employed for various purposes like copyright protection, then source tracking, broadcast tracking, hidden communication. Now, this data which is embedded directly into digital media, it can be changed media contents data. Now, there are two types of digital watermarking techniques. There are n number of, but for your simplicity, we can say that digital watermarking can be divided into two types, that is visible digital watermarking and non-visible. Now, as the name suggests, visible digital watermarking. So it simply means that visible data is being embedded as the watermark. For example, it can be any logo or the text that will denote digital media's owner, who is the owner of that medium. And invisible digital watermarking. So in this case, data is embedded and that will be invisible. For example, if you are using the audio content, so that will be inaudible. You will not be able to hear anything. This audio content will be inaudible, right? And if it is an image, you will not be able to see that image, that because that is invisible. Over here, I have shown one diagram which will explain you digital watermarking concept. So you can see that this is the original image and watermarking is being applied. Again, watermarking will use the concept of encryption. Now the encryption concepts are very clear to you. So whenever encryption is being applied to the original image, you will get the watermark image. The second image I will see as a watermarked image, right? And the first one is the original image. So this is done so I can say that it is done so properly that you will not be able to see. You may see that second image is same as the original image, because this is done in a very proper way that you will not understand that this is original image or this is watermarked image. So this is provided for the security purpose. So today we have seen in this presentation, what do you mean by VPN? What are the various types of VPN? Two types we have seen, that is remote access VPN, and second is a site-to-site VPN. How to provide the security in VPN network, that we have seen. And second topic that we have covered is what is a multimedia network, then what are the various applications of that, what is multimedia network, and how security will be provided in multimedia network. So for that purpose, we have seen two techniques, that is a cryptography and second is a digital watermarking. So with this, today's presentation is over. Thank you.